Hey Nemo, are you and Hoku friends? Or just basically ignore each other and swim away too. That works.
Hey guys, it is the Turtle Girl. Welcome back to the channel. Today we are talking about kind of a frequently asked question and a thing that a lot of people think about, which is, can you keep a turtle plus a turtle in the same tank? So two turtles in the same tank, and do turtles actually need friends? So the first thing you need to realize if you are at all planning to cohabitate two different turtles together is that in the wild, turtles do not want friends, they do not have friends, they do not want a companion, and they do not need a companion because they see them as basically competition. Competition for mates, competition for territory, competition for food. And so when they encounter another turtle, naturally they want to drive that turtle away so that they can have their space and food and mates to themselves. And so they will thrive by themselves in their own aquarium. They do not need friends. However, despite this, there are still a lot of people who want to keep two turtles together. So first of all, let me tell you that turtles are extremely aggressive. When they are mating, they are aggressive. When they don't want you in their space, they are aggressive. And they have extremely powerful jaws that can tear limbs off. They can even break shells. In fact, my own eastern painted turtle, whom I adopted, you might see on his shell that he actually kind of seems to have some sort of deformity and his shell isn't like perfectly shaped. That is because he is a very aggressive turtle, and so before I adopted him, he was living with another turtle, and so Nemo was so aggressive that he fought that other turtle, and the other turtle retaliated back and basically broke his shell. And it's really a bad situation. So you need to be aware of the risks you are taking when you're putting two turtles together because, again, they don't want a friend. They do not need a friend, and they will be fine by themselves. If things don't work out, you need to separate them right away to avoid any ugliness, either to a separate tank or have someone who will be able to take that turtle the instant something goes wrong. So now that you know that and you understand the risks going into this, let's go into how you can successfully keep two turtles together. So the first thing we need to consider is tank size. It's not much different for when you keep one turtle. You still follow the 10 gallons per inch of shell rule, except you take the length of the largest turtle and instead of multiplying that by 1, you multiply that by 1.5, and that should ensure you have enough space for both turtles. You want to give them the biggest amount of space that you can realistically accommodate. This will minimize the chances of aggression and them fighting over territory. The next thing is feeding. So something turtles can get really aggressive over, again, is food. So the easiest way to avoid this is to just feed them in separate containers, which I will be covering in another video, and I've also touched a bit on my basic feeding care videos. So just feed them in separate containers and try not to feed them in the same tanks so that they're not squabbling over food. Now, there is one factor that really plays into the success of keeping two turtles together, and that is actually the species of turtle that you are trying to put together. So, general rule, most turtles don't actually like turtles of their own species. Now, this is because they either want to mate with each other or they see each other as aggression for mates, and sexual aggression can be very, very violent within turtles. So for the most part, you want to avoid that. Another thing to consider is actually the gender of your turtle, because as we all know, males and males rarely ever works. So just keep in mind that if you have two boy turtles, they might be more likely to fight than, say, a female and female or male and female pairing. So this leaves us with the option of two different species of turtles. Now, for the best success, you really want two different types of turtles that will inhabit a different area of the tank. So we have the basking turtles. So these are things such as the sliders, the painteds, and the map turtles. And these turtles tend to spend a good amount of time swimming in the middle of the tank and also towards the top. And also they bask a lot, so they're also out of the water. And then you have the bottom walkers. So these are the mud and musk turtles. And these turtles, instead of swimming around a lot, they tend to spend their time towards the lower area of the tank and don't always bask. So ideally you would want to pick one turtle from each of these two groups. Also keep in mind that some species have a reputation for being more aggressive than others. So for instance, sliders and painted turtles are kind of known for being more aggressive with other turtles. And also, keep in mind that some turtles are not as comfortable in deeper water, so the mud turtles might not do as well in a big tank because they simply cannot deal with that depth and prefer to have a shallower tank. And so with all these factors considered, in my opinion, the turtle pairing that would have the highest chance of success would be something like a musk turtle, so either a common musk turtle or a razorback, and then a type of map turtle. And remember, you want to provide them adequate space. Also, make sure you're giving them plenty of decorations and hiding spaces for them to be able to break up territory and get out of each other's line of sight and run away from the others should they start being aggressive. But remember, if there is any aggression shown, you do need to separate them right away. And just know that cohabitating turtles really isn't for most people, and it's not in their nature to live with another turtle, so just keep these things in mind. With that being said, thank you guys so much for watching. I hope you enjoyed the video. If you did, please give it a huge thumbs up. Also, if you have ever kept 2 turtles before, comment down below your experiences so people can go down there and see what other people's opinions on this are, and I will see you guys next Friday. Have a totally awesome day. Bye!